Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Mount Tammany Ridge channel. So I'm going to be doing something a little bit different today. However, it is firewood related. Bundlewood, in fact. So I set up a little bit of a, I don't want to say really a demonstration table or whatever. However, I do want to talk a little bit about firewood bundles. And we're going to be doing a comparison today. Now, I'm going to be open with you guys. I'm sure a lot of you guys already know through past videos. However, if this is your first time watching the Mount Tammany Ridge channel, you need to know that I have not been doing firewood bundles for years and years, and I don't have a whole ton of experience and all that stuff. However, I can talk about what I have experienced with this whole, trying to get into the bundlewood thing, small time, just having a little stand down the road, maybe one or two more. Like I said, just, basically to make a little bit of side money to, fund my hobby, which is processing my own firewood. And so, I mean, really, that's all I can bring to the table, no pun intended. So, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 bundles from suppliers in the area. Now, I don't know who these suppliers are. There's one over here that's got a name on it, but I'm not going to name the company. Just because I'm not trying to knock anybody, or I'm also trying not to give away free advertisement. They want me to advertise on my channel. They're going to have to talk with me. So, anywho, so I guess what we're going to do today is we're going to bring a bundle up on the table at a time. One of mine is also included in this. So we're going to break the bundle open. We're also going to check and see, because some of these bundles have the nice little check marks for you, check boxes for things that you claim are done to the wood. So I guess we can get started. So see if I can pick this thing up without it completely falling apart. Okay, so this one here is it's pretty well stuffed. I'm actually pretty impressed. Now, this bag says it's an 80 cubic foot, or I should say 80 cubic foot, 0.80 cubic foot. So let's see. Seasoned, box is not checked. Kiln dried, box is not checked. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. That's totally fine. I don't know if maybe whoever was bundling this particular bundle forgot to check off what applied to this bundle or not. But if that's just them being straight up and honest, stating that they are neither of these things, they're just, what they picked up off the ground and threw in the bag, and, the seasoning that they have is however long it's been sitting there in the bundle, right? Which is, it's been a while. I mean, if you look, this thing's kind of coming apart. Matter of fact, that's why the top is open, because I went to pick it up before and just kind of came apart on me. So there is a name on here. Again, I'm not going to share any names, but what we're going to do is we're going to break these bundles down, and we're going to look at the wood, and we're going to do a piece count on the wood. So, let's see, we've got 1, 2, a little bit of bark in there. You can see this is, from a crotch formation, a branch or something in there as a knot. I don't really consider that a full piece. Oh, look at this though. They did include some bundle kindling in the middle. That's at least one decent piece of wood worth of space that they've taken up in this bundle. And I can't speak for everybody, but I can start a fire with a whole heck of a lot less pieces than this. And smaller pieces, mind you, because smaller wood, smaller kindling is definitely going to light easier. And you can make more kindling out of thin, long kindling than you can, out of this. Also risks you having to, split these down with a knife and a rock, smacking it into it, or a hatchet. So kudos for thinking about getting the fire started. I'm not sure I would have went that route. Nice big piece. Looks like it'll burn for a while. Not too bad. And it feels, for the size of the piece and being a knot in it, it feels like it's well seasoned. So, how many we got so far? 1, 2, 3. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kindergarten didn't treat me well. 6, 7. That's a nice piece. And these pieces look like, I didn't even bring my tape measure. That was pretty dumb. They look like they vary from anywhere from 16 inches up to 18. I think that's probably a pretty safe guess. And that's a 0.80 cubic foot. Now, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, okay. So that could have been 9 pieces, right? So, and they could have kept these little slivers individual, right? And they could have just kind of jammed them down in between all the pieces individually, and not really, I guess overall it would take up that amount of room, but you still would have been able to get, a 9th piece in here, right? So, now the other thing I do notice is that there is some bark in here. All right, not just bark, in the kindling bundle, but also bark on the wood itself. Now, campfire, all that's fine, other than the fact that when you're at a campsite, wood with bark on it's not that big a deal, because who cares? You're around the campfire, right? Well, when you're selling bundle wood and you want to go buy bundle wood as a customer, it means you got to go somewhere and get it usually. Liquor store nearby, gas station, so on. You have to put this in your car, okay? So these bags, these pieces, I don't know if you can see on the camera, but there's a lot of schmutz on there, dirt, dust of all different types. Little debris. But all those debris, when you take a bundlewood bag and you kind of pitch it in the back of your car, that's going to come out. And you know how much of a pain in the butt it is to get all this small, tiny little splinters and fragments and debris out of that tight-knit carpet in the back of your cars and SUVs. So, overall, not a bad bundle. The piece count, I feel, should be higher, specifically because of the, I should say, the financial climate that everybody is living, all kind of side by side here. Inflation has been so crazy that they're selling you less for more. Now, that is kind of the name of the game, and kudos to them if they're getting it, right? However, I'm taking a little bit of a different approach. Now, this bundle was $7.99, okay? Which, again, like I said, it was a pretty decent sized bundle. The 0.80 bag was stuffed pretty well. However, like I said, I think they did kind of jip customer there. It could have been 9 pieces. Overall, decent bundle. Seems to be very well seasoned as well. And there's also, you know, a variety of species of wood in here, which is also good. Different species of wood are going to put out different flame. And, you know, which is good because, you know, some stuff kind of smolders, even though it's seasoned, just because it's got like a low light flame. Some of this other wood, you know, burns and it's got a nice twinkle to it, kind of brightens up your camping space. So having a mix, you know, is a good thing. Which I mean, I could, but at this particular moment, I've got so much ash that, you know, and the fact that it seasons very quickly, it's just too convenient for me to pass up the opportunity to be utilizing it for bundles. Not to say that I don't use it for my own heating and even sell it to some of my local friends and neighbors when they feel that they need some. Okay, so the next one, now try to keep in mind, you know, the size of that one. This one here is about the same. Let's see what the 0.80 cubic again. Okay, and it says kiln dried, so that's a really good thing, right? There's no doubt that when you fire this stuff up in your your fireplace or your fire pit, it's gonna burn good, and it's gonna burn nice and hot. It's not gonna be too smoky, and you know, that's one of the biggest benefits of having kiln dried wood is that it's less likely, not to say that it won't smoke, but it's less likely to smoke. Okay, now let's see what these guys have. So showing that it's kiln dried. Like we got a lot of ash in here. Some other things too, kind of get a good idea on it. So, boy, a lot of these pieces are pretty spindly. Could use these for balusters on our railing. All right. So you've got a piece of oak in here. One piece of oak. No, sorry. 2 pieces of oak. These must be what they consider their all-nighters. So 2 pieces of oak. All right, so overall we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. 11 pieces. All right, so that's good. We're getting up there in pieces. But yeah, so I mean, the amount that you're getting is good. However, the splits, you know, I mean, a little small. It's okay to have some stuff in there that's about this size. I mean, you don't want them all lunker bass, right? I mean, we're not exactly you know, bass fishing here. Not everything needs to be a lunker. However, you don't want too many spindly ones because these things will just burn up and be gone within a minute. I mean, they kind of resemble matchsticks, to be honest. However, like I said, kiln dried. Yeah, I mean, I could say it's kiln dried. You know, I mean, it kind of feels, you know, very dry. Again, stupid me. Here I am. I'm doing this. I should have my my moisture tester. You know what? I'm gonna be back in just a moment. I'm gonna do that because that's also gonna help this be a little bit more of a fair comparison. Give me just a few moments. All right. Ha! I found it. I didn't think I was gonna find it, but I did. I guess it's better than finding it on a IBC tote out in the middle of the wood yard. Heath. So here we are. Hopefully the battery's not dead. Ooh, it's low, no doubt. All right, so let's see. We will put this on B setting. Oh, by the way, this is a top test. There's a few other brands that are being shown and reviewed on YouTube recently that look just like the top test, but that's a different name. I do not know what that is. I'm going to see if I can put this in the link, put a link in the description is what I'm trying to say, and we'll see what we can do there. So let's check the moisture in these things. low. Okay, so that's good. And those are the oak pieces, mind you. Okay, low, low. 8.5. Now these things have been sitting down in my cover it building, 8.5. Down bottom by the wood yard for probably, I have to say 4 months. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't argue that these are kiln dried. This is almost 10, 9.5, somewhere in there. Kind of jumping back and forth a bit. Let's see. 10.4, 10.5. That's to be expected. It looks like it's some punky ash is what that is. 8.9, 9. This one, low. Okay, so that's good. So we'll turn that off for now, considering the battery's low. All right, so we've got 11 pieces, no kindling in sight. However, it is kiln dried quite well, so it should light up pretty easy with very little bit of whatever they can find on the ground, maybe some newspaper, tax bill, whatever you want to use. So, okay, and had a tape measure in here the other day, but oh well. These all look to be between 16 and 17 inches, I would say. No more than 18, I would say. So we're good there. Again, I think these pieces are just a little small, just a little bit. About pieces around this size, we'll get together a little bit later when I put my bundle up here, and we'll talk a little bit more about the size of the pieces that I make and why. I have mentioned in a previous video that why I try to make my pieces the sizes that I do. Now this would appear to be the same supplier for the one. However, there is no packaging label or anything on this one. Just the same color bag. So this one's not quite packed as tight as the other one was, nor is it the same style bag. This bag is a top load bag. That one is a side load bag. Overall, I imagine it's probably, it might be a 0.80, maybe a 0.75. Yeah, I would say it's probably a 0.80 or a 7.5 because I've got a full 1 cubic foot bag is what I use. And this does appear to look a little bit smaller. However, it could be just because I kind of stuffed mine pretty good. I got my Gerber on me. I don't know why I'm bothering to try to cut this open. Get this stuff out a little quicker. So, all these bags were sitting in the sun. I don't know how long this one was, but I know that other one over there has a much deeper purple to it, and it doesn't look like the UV rays had gotten to it all that much, but that one fell apart a lot easier than this one. It might be because of the fact that it was a side load versus a top load. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, 11. So there's a chance here that it could be the same supplier, because it does look like these pieces are all somewhere around, the 18 inch between 18 and 16-inch long, which that's good because that's consistency. And obviously, when you have a thinner piece of wood, right? If it's longer, technically, cubic foot wise, you're kind of gaining some of that girth back and length. Take that for how you want to take that. So, yeah, I mean, this is a decent piece. Let's see what the moisture. I mean, I imagine, you know, the moisture on a lot of these pieces are going to be pretty low as well. And I can't assume that it's kiln dried because there's no way for me to really know that. We're going to put the moisture meter to it and see what this looks like. All right. Okay, so this one, you know, is 12.4. Seasoned well. I don't believe kiln dried. So we got 11. Okay, that's a pretty, like I said, that's a pretty spindly piece. 11.5. Okay, now these were outside, but the only thing they had, only moisture that they've had contact with is ambient moisture. It has not been in direct rain or anything like that. So we're looking at 10%. Looking at 11 again, 10.9, 10.8. This one's real thin, right? Gets a little bigger on this end. Let's see, we're looking at 12. 11.3, 11.2, 11, 10.9, 10.8, 10.2, 12.1, 12.3, yeah, about 12 on that side. 8.4, which really isn't surprising. 10. You know how these moisture meters are. You can go in 4 different spots very close to each other and they'll read quite different. Okay, 11 and, you know, 10.9, 10.8, 11.2, the bigger piece here. Looking at 11.7, roughly 12. Okay, so again, we have 11 pieces, all of which seem to be closer to the 18-inch in length. There are more bigger pieces that are a little bit more girthy than the other bundle. However, for the most part, pretty consistent in length and size. I think it's pretty consistent. Again, this is not any fault of the supplier. Some woods are stringy, you know, and they got this stuff on it, and some woods are less stringy, so or not stringy at all even. So yeah, so well seasoned, at least well seasoned. Like I said, I can't say it's kiln dried, but it's darn good. And of course, you know, the test with the moisture meter, it shows. You know, I mean, these were all in the high, or I should say, low teens, and between 8 and 10. So that's good. I would actually venture to say it might even be better than what I have to show as far as moisture, because what I have here is oak. I don't have any ash in there. This oak has been sitting for, I'd say, probably a year, maybe even more than that. It might be a year and a couple months. So, but I'm going to save mine for last. I got one more here, and this is from the local supermarket. Okay, and again, I'm not going to show the company or the brand or the phone number or anything. I know it is a Pennsylvania supplier. I will say at least that much. And so, as you know, you cannot sell, at least out in this region. I don't know about where you're from, but in my area, you cannot sell firewood across state lines unless it is kiln dried, or I guess heat treated, right? And I think that's something like 130 degrees or something like that. And basically what that's for is to kill any insects. They're trying to avoid insects, that fly and things like that from, getting across rivers, because we all know that, flying insects don't dare cross rivers. So, yeah. Now, this bundle, I have to say, for as nicely packaged as it is, looks like it's had some snow blown up on it from the parking lot, and some salt probably. Oh, that's not salt. I'm joking. I wouldn't actually do that. It's gross. So anyway, and possibly risky. Tonight would probably be my last meal. So it needs to be kiln dried, and like I said, it's stretch wrapped, which I guess is okay. And I mean, it's a 0.75 is what it says. So I'm not a real math guy, so I wouldn't really know how to judge that. I guess if you look at the bundles that I'm comparing all this to, maybe it could be that. If you ask me, if you look at mine's a 1 cubic foot, and I would say, yeah, it's probably about a 1.75, 1.75, a 0.75 at least, right? Or I should say at best. So let's get the old Gerber out here. We're going to cut this thing open and see what their kiln dried wood looks like. Now this stuff does look like it's a pretty consistent 16 inches here, which is good. I mean, that's pretty standard. Yeah, it might be, maybe a little, there might be some pieces in there that are, there's definitely some salt in this bundle. You can see it. It's all in here from the plows driving by and blowing it in there. So here, the pieces definitely look more, we got some oak. That's good. Everybody likes oak because it, burns pretty long and hot and leaves some nice coals. And let's see, we've got, looks like ash. Looks like we've got a little bit of cherry here. Cherry's nice. Everybody likes the smell of cherry when it burns. Kindling? I mean, oh, okay. All right. So we'll call that kindling. I don't know. Don't want to offend anybody. We got some oak here, a little bit of bark on there, and then we've got I'm not even sure. It might be more cherry. I don't even know. Got a weird look to it. Cherry. I don't know. So it appears to be there are what? 1, 2, 3. I can't count this as a piece. I can't do that. No, I'm not gonna count that as a piece. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Whatever that is. Okay. I'll give it to them. I'll give them 7 pieces ish. Okay. Now, these pieces are a little chunkier than the other ones, which is good. That is good. It's not a terrible bundle, I suppose. Now, they want $7.99 for this bundle. Okay. Now, again, like I said, there's only 7 pieces in here. Technically 6. If you really, I mean, if you want to call that a piece, we have to give them 7. But I'm really not thinking so. This should be like a bonus piece, not considered part of the actual tally. But you get what you get. Mass production, it is what it is. So yeah, we're going to do the moisture test on these, and then kind of, it is what it is. Now, the other bundles, they were all $7.99 as well. Okay, So all these bundles here are $7.99. That going. Put it on B. Okay, so we're looking at 9. Low, that's good. Okay, low. Low. Yep, I'm pretty confident that these are kiln dried. I don't have anything in here to split these bigger pieces down and take a moisture reading from. Well, I'm not even going to bother testing that. Low. Low. I mean, when they're coming up low, right? I mean, if there's no point, I don't think, in splitting them down. Low. Now this feels like, yeah. You see how? I don't know if you can. You see how that end grain? See how it's like rolling? There's no jagged, hard corners. You know where the split is. It's all kind of round and almost like a jigsaw puzzle, right? So my experience with splitting wood is, one, this is a very soft wood. Okay, that's sort of kind of a giveaway, especially in our area. And the fact that it's got that jigsaw puzzle kind of profile when it splits. This is it's poplar. This is poplar all day long, which is fine. Poplar's fine, especially for campfire wood. However, you don't want to make your whole bundle out of poplar, because that thing will go up like you know, it'll go up in a flash. Okay, low, and this is oak. This piece that I have here is oak. So, yeah, low, low, low. That's good. Okay. Now, okay, this is low. Here, low. All right. So, all these are. I think I had one piece that read around 9% roughly, like 8.9 or whatever it was. So the only complaints, gripes I really have about this bundle is the fact that they're shorting their customers on pieces here. Customers who are consuming a product, they like consistency. Okay. Now this supplier over here, I believe it's the same supplier. Could be wrong, but at least these two suppliers over here that we just went through prior to this one, they understand consistency. Both of these bundles were 11-piece count, and that's good, because, like I said, a lot of consumers. My feeling is that if you have a bundle, if you have, say, 5 bundles, okay, and they buy 5 bundles, or say 6 bundles or whatever, and all of them have 12 pieces in them, okay, and then one day they buy 2 bundles and both of those bundles have 11 pieces in them or 9 pieces in them, they're going to be really upset, okay? Even though those pieces, when you fill a 1 cubic foot bag or a 0.75 or a 0.80, if you fill the bag to its maximum capacity, they're getting the full capacity of that bag. It doesn't matter what size the pieces are, okay? But up here, okay, them as the consumer, they're not going to see it that way, okay? Some of them you can explain it to and they go, oh, got it. Okay, I got you. Some of them are going to be like, no, there's something, this is a gimmick. This isn't right. I've been buying these for, the whole vacation, and now all of a sudden they're down to 9-piece bundles. So for me, I'd rather have that consistency, which is tougher because it does slow down the processing part, right? You've got to be a little bit more methodical about your splits and how many of what size and all that stuff. But again, like I said, I'm not looking to go big time, whether it be bulk firewood or bundle wood or anything like that. Supplying, small revenue, generating a small amount of revenue to pay for my hobby, pay for the fuel for processing my own firewood, and to go retrieve the firewood from other farms and stuff like that. So that's strictly really what all this is. So we're going to put this stuff aside and stop yammering about everybody else's stuff, and we're going to see what I've got going on here. And we'll put the moisture meter to it. Now, again, as far as the moisture, I do anticipate my moisture being on the higher side. One, it's oak. It's been sitting for about a year and 2 months, roughly. Oop, there goes that bundle, falling apart. This one was out toward closer toward the edge of the building where the top started to fail on me from the sun bleaching it. So as you can see, that's a pretty fat bag. Now, I've heard a lot of people talk about making the bag too big, too bulky. For some customers, could be unattractive, right? And I agree, because not everybody that's going camping at an RV park or something like that is between 18 and 50 years old, and not everybody's abilities to lift a heavy bag. Not everybody has that ability. So my thing is, like I said, in the economical climate that we are in, I want to try to provide more for the same amount of money that everybody else, okay, is paying. Okay, I just showed you that they're paying $8, okay, a bag for a 0.75 and a 0.80 bag. Okay, I'm not really charging anymore. I'm like, this is $8. That's $7.99. $8, right? However, I'm going to make sure that they have more wood for their fireplace or their fire pit. Now, I'm going to open this guy up, and you're going to see pieces in here that are similar in girth to the others, but you're also going to see, I'm hoping you're going to see in the camera, a little bit more of a consistency. Okay, so like I said, my pieces are going to be between. See how this probably wasn't the best bundle to use as an example, because when I made this bundle over a year ago, I really didn't care about having any bark on the wood. However, all of my other bundles, and I know Al from Club Dora, he just actually commented on one of my bundles that he saw me making down at the wood yard. Now he had noticed that I don't sell wood with bark on it. I keep the wood with bark on it for my own consumption for heat. That's just something that I've decided that I would like to try to uphold in my operation. It doesn't work for everybody. And will it stay like that forever? I have no idea. I think those changes come with opportunities, whether good, big opportunities, small opportunities. It all depends on that stuff. So there could be some changes. We'll see. But so far, as of now, my operation, I want to be sure that I have a consistent bundle with no bark. All this stuff that I'm unpackaging, I am not going to repackage. I'm going to put it through the basement window, down to the basement, and I'm just going to burn it here. I'm not going to go through all the holy heck of trying to bundle all this back up. And besides, like I said, I want to have some consistency on our at our bundlewood stand. So if I start putting oak down there right now, and I don't have enough inventory of oak and other hardwoods, then people are going to start asking, well, what's, how come there was like one bundle? Okay, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, 14 pieces. All right. Now, as far as the one from the shopping center down the road, that's twice as much. Twice for the same price. Okay. Now, again, I do have some smaller pieces, but again, like I said, during the startup process of the fire, you want to be sure that, all the pieces that you have aren't huge lunkers, okay, that are going to take a while to light. Especially being that my wood, I only put through a seasoning process, okay? So anything other than ash, okay, that I expect to take a longer period of time to season, okay, I expect it to, to just for the pieces to just kind of lay out the way they are. And like I said, I will put smaller pieces in here that will cure, or I should say season faster to get that fire lit. Now, another FYI, all of my bundles that I do now, after I started with this one many months ago, I include 6 pieces of 16-inch long spindly kindling. Now, the cool thing about those, you make them small enough so that people can break them in half. That does 2 things, okay? When you break it in half, it makes little splinters that stick up, okay? Those little splinters are an easy spot for you to light if you don't have fire starter, okay? Now, or you could just use them in full length. If you have a fire starter or something like that, or say a torch or something like a propane or a butane torch, and you just want to put it straight to the kindling and set it afire, and then stack some of these other, like I said, these smaller, thinner pieces on top, and obviously build it from there. So yeah, this is the way I do it. I do remember Larry and Robin. They have on Outdoors with Larry and Robin. They, for a long time now, I don't know if Robin is still making her bundles with 14 pieces. I believe, if I remember correctly, they did actually do that for quite some time, I imagine. And that's kind of where I kind of got the idea of, yeah, you know what? Maybe consistency is a good thing. And I do remember Robin maybe talking about that they don't necessarily do that anymore because, again, they do understand that when you fill the bag completely full, it is, taking up the cubic space that it says it is, because that's what that bag's designed for. So that's what I got going on there. Trying to think of what other the other topic I wanted to talk about with the bundlewood is I don't I like having this with 14 pieces for one other reason, at least that I can think of off the top of my head right now, and that is burn time. Okay. A lot of my friends have, had the opportunity to burn the bundlewood that I have. Matter of fact, 2 of which live right here in the neighborhood. And we have some block parties throughout the summer. And I donated some bundlewood to both of their events. Matter of fact, one was also a Halloween event. And the coolest thing about having about 14 pieces and them being kind of assorted sizes, things like that, is the fact that burn time is kind of important when you're throwing an event, a party, whatever, and you're a chaperone, okay? And other chaperones are there because you got kids everywhere running around. God knows what they're putting in the fire. You really don't want the kids near the fire to begin with. Especially every parent's back's turned for a moment. They got eyes in the back of their head. So starting the fire is great. It's fun, okay? But once the kids get bored and they start running around, now the parents are all standing there tending to the fire until it goes out, right? And making sure that none of the kids come by and put their hands on the fire pit or something hot. So the shorter period of time that they have to stand around tending to it, the better, I think. I know from my anxiety, I'm almost happy when it burns out, because you could take the other half and you can relight it up, or you could just throw it back on there, stoke it back up, you're good to go. Or you can just feed one piece at a time and just kind of keep the fire going and then not have to worry about walking away from it. So that's just my experience. I also had kind of talked to some of my friends up the street about, what I thought about the topic, this particular topic with burn time and all that. And honestly, they had said that they really never thought about it that way, but it is a pretty valid point. And another thing, I mean, fireplaces, right? You're snuggling up next to your significant other, and you have the fireplace crack-a-lackling over there, and everybody's enjoying the ambiance, and it's wonderful. However, you're not going to be necessarily feeding that fire all night, and having to watch it and make sure it's not spitting embers out into the living room or the great room or whatever, and light your house on fire. So at some point, they need to, do what grown-ups do, and that's go back to bed and get up for work tomorrow. So yeah, they don't want a fire that they have to go and hose down, right? You go and you spend all this money on bundlewood, and you got to go dump a bucket of water on it because, the kids are now in the front yard, and you got to go out there and tend to them. Now all that wood you just spent money on, you just lit on fire. Now you didn't even get to watch the whole thing burn down to the bottom, get your money's worth out of it. Now you're dumping a bucket of water on it because all the parents have to go to the other side of the property to keep an eye on the kids. So anyway, I'm going to call this a video. I hope and pray to God that I can edit this thing and make it not too long. So before that happens, I mean, this is the second time I turned the camera on before I went to get the moisture meter, and it's 34 minutes. You guys are going to hate me. So anyway, I'm going to post it. I'm going to post it the way it is. I'm not going to do any fancy anything. I'm just going to sit here and talk. And yes, Alan, I do talk a lot, but I think I have a decent subject here to talk about. So if any of you guys like the content that you see here on the Mount Tammany Ridge, okay, if you could, maybe just tickle that like button, maybe hit the subscribe button, share with some of your friends that might be interested in this kind of content. And please comment down below, please. I'm having a hard time staying in the algorithm. It's not easy, mostly my fault. Haven't been consistent the past 2 months with keeping content up. So you guys have yourselves a good night. Oh, also, no. Oh, you thought I was going to do it. The shirt's behind me. I don't know if you guys can see them. I'm kind of trying to do a little bit of representation, and the shirt that I'm wearing, right? So you got Shaver Equipment, okay, AJ, and kind of representing for him and Brute Force a little bit. And then you've got Bill and Karen over at Allen Family Firewood. That's the Who Cut One shirt that they got me, or I should say sent me. And then you got Hardworking Man, Keith and Rachel. So a little bit of representation down here in New Jersey for you guys. And again, you guys have yourselves a good night. Take her easy. See you on the next video.